This is kind of a video for myself. I haven't made a video in a long time. Um, what this video is going to be about is why you want to make a system. Um, and by system, I mean something that works for you. So it works when you're not working effectively. And it's something that you can scale. And it's something that is automated usually. And the two ways I think about it are for money and for girls. For money, like you want to make a system because it'll make money when you're asleep. It'll make money however you are, like it'll make money outside of you. It's something that you set up the system, and then the system works on its own. It's like the Amazon like flywheel that like it rotates and it grows bigger, gradually scales, it gradually gets more people and grows and grows, and it can do a lot more than just one person can. Usually many people can do more than one person can, and in the past the way of scaling was with many people instead of one person. So before it was like, okay, you're just competing in your local community, like in the 1800s, 1700s, you're competing with your local community for jobs. Then later on it was outsourcing, and you're competing with all those people that are like out there and outsourced and shit. You have to compete with them. And then after that, now today it is, you're competing against automation. We compete now against machines, against systems, because systems can work where we can't. They can work in ways that we can't. They can work 24 hours a day. They can be set up to keep improving. They can be set up to be perfect in ways that human beings can't. And human beings have the creativity and the ingenuity to come up with the system and to define like the concepts of this is what it's going to be and these are what it's going to consist of, and write out the principles for it. But then it's important to do that and then have the system run itself and make you money or get you girls. So I think it's important to have it for money and for getting yourself laid, like getting girls, if you don't already have that. Why it works too, I think why the system works so well is that it's not human. And this is exactly what Ray Dalio did, like in his book, like is that he combined machine with human being, man with machine, and you need to do that. So you need to do it for girls, you need to do it for money, and then I don't know if I do it kind of for lifting. Kind of I do, because I set the system up ahead of time, make it human proof, where these are the numbers I'm going to hit no matter what. My job as the human being who's flawed, who's I mean, you can have good days or bad. You can maybe lose sleep. You can maybe not eat so good one day. You can be in a bad mood. You can have all these things with emotion that, like, emotions let us be creative, allow us to be beautiful and creative and make things that regular people can't, or like just that a machine can't. But at the same time, emotions come with their downsides, that we're inconsistent, we're unpredictable, we're not consistent 100% all the way through like a machine would be. We're not perfect like a machine would be. So it's kind of important to systemize things and program it into the system, and then have the system do the work for you, because then you can just focus on being human. You can focus on being eating healthy, on getting your sleep, on exercising, on having good relationships with the people in your life, and focus on creating the systems and have the systems make you money. Because then you can, as you focus on being human, you focus on being what you're good at, which is creativity, which is something that the machine can't do. Even if the machines learned to do it, it would be simulating creativity, but it wouldn't be true emotion based like human beings are, kind of. So that's something to consider. And ultimately, no matter how good you get at something, you want your job to be working in terms of ideas, in terms of creativity, in terms of thinking and innovating. That's the human being's job. That's the CEO's job. That's the hardest thing to do, because it's hard for people to think. But that's what you want to do, and then you want to use that thinking to create the system and create the machine that makes the machine. Oh my god, that's so true. And yeah, you make the machine that makes the machine. Why do you make it? Because it can do things that you can't. It can work harder than you, it can work smarter than you, it can work eternally, it can work all day, all night, and it can work in ways that you can't. So if you set it up, you get to use that to your, and you have all those powers at your disposal. So therefore, inevitably, you do want to build skills, but you want to not spend all your time working. You want to spend it being on thinking, on creativity, on ingenuity, on your ideas, on learning, and then create systems that generate you what you want and what you need, and focus on putting the work into the system. And it only takes a little bit of work, but once you build the system, it's set for life, and then it can kind of just run itself, and you can kind of just watch yourself get the results.